Hey everyone, Vigilante Reviews here with a review of Super Sons, Dynomutt, and the Blue Falcon. So this is the special crossover that came out last month. And it actually took me longer to read than I was expecting it to. I think it's just, again, I was busy and it just, I would wait to read it till, bedtime, read it before I went to bed, and then I would always just get tired and put it off. But I did get through it, and it was a great story. This is the official last issue, I guess, of Volume 1 of Super Sons, so let's get into it. Or I don't know if actually, maybe issue 16 was, I don't know. But anyway, so we start, and we get the backstory to Blue Falcon and Dynomutt. Really touching story. So, this boy, his name, Radley something, Radley Crown, I think. A very smart kid who spent all his time in the lab, so he didn't really have any friends. So his parents bought him this dog when he was, I don't know, he looks like 9 maybe. And they became best friends. They, went and did everything together. Then when Radley's parents died, they were murdered. Of course, his best friend was there to comfort him. And then 15 years go by. Well, not since the murder, but since Radley got him. And, he says, "I'm sorry, Mutt. The vet says it's because you're 15. It's just your time. When we go tomorrow, she's going to make it peaceful, I promise. There's nothing I can do, boy. It's just life. I love you so much, buddy. I wish you could live forever." And so, his dog is dying. And I have dogs of my own, and actually one of them just passed away like last month, I think. So I definitely feel some empathy for this guy. But yeah, he's like, you know what? You have strength for one more trip, buddy? I've got an idea. So he takes him to his lab and basically turns him into a cyborg dog. What is the point of open caskets? I just don't get it. When I die, hopefully many, many years from now, I don't want anybody to come and look at me. Please don't. Just no viewing or anything. Just put me in the casket and put me in the ground. So yeah, it stops. So this is the backstory, and then it flips to present day. The Kents are at a funeral for one of the employees of the Daily Planet. And of course, John hates it, as I do too. Funerals are no fun. So yeah, he goes outside to get some air, and who shows up? Damian Wayne. So yeah, this is about a year, I'd say, after issue number 1. So they're both like a year older now. So they're looking a little bit older. Also, Jorge Jimenez's art is looking. It just looks a lot different from issue 1. Man, that stupid glare. It just looks. It looks more like your typical comic book art, but it still has that certain flair to it that I really like. But it is looking a bit more refined, not quite as unprofessional, but it looks, nice and clean and just very well done. So Robin, again, talks John into going and checking something out with him, much like he did in issue 1. So yeah, as they're getting ready to leave, this robot paw taps John on the shoulder, turns around to see a messed up Dynomutt. I actually never watched the Blue Falcon or Dynomutt as a kid. I did watch a lot of Hanna-Barbera stuff, like Yogi Bear, Huckleberry Hound, Tom and Jerry. Well, no, Tom and Jerry is Metro Goldwyn, but Flintstones, some of the Jetsons. Um, but I never watched this one, so I really don't know much about these characters. Um, so yeah, I just thought I would let you guys know that. But anyway, he looks pretty messed up. So yeah, he's asking Damien to take him back home. Man, that is just messed up. That's an eyeball right there. Yeah. Ugh, ugh, yes. Not a book for kids. So yeah, he's trying to explain what happened. They're not really getting a whole lot out of him. And John's like, yeah, that dog's bleeding oil. Damien says he's a lot more than just a dog. He's one of the bravest heroes I've ever met, and I need to get him home. You can stay here if you want. So anyway, they decide to take him back to the lair, I guess. And again, Robin is telling John a little bit about Blue Falcon and Dynomutt. Cool action scene there. Reminds me a lot of, like, you know, the Batman and Robin picture that's looks much the same. So yeah, it just gives a little bit of backstory on them. How Blue Falcon was even part of Batman's International Corporation of Crime Fighters, Batman Inc. So anyway, they get him back to the house. They put him in this machine to fix him up, but they are foiled. Well, they enter his like data bank, and it shows Blue Falcon is actually attacking Dynomutt. But yeah, Dynomutt says, my loyal companion has gone rogue, his mind overcome by madness. So that's really sad. But anyway, they're trying to get him fixed up, but the Blue Falcon comes in and tries to, you know, is stopping them. He shoots John with like a kryptonite ray gun, or at least it's synthetic kryptonite, so it doesn't kill him, but it does hurt him. And Damien, if you've hurt my friend, I'll mess you up. But yeah, Blue Falcon just easily sidesteps him and says, you know, told Batman never to work with kids. Dogs are more loyal. So he, like, a bit of the old Blue Falcon is breaking through, but then the crazy brain controlled guy comes back. So yeah, he just wrecks this healing chamber thing, tears Blue Falcon, Dynomutt out of it, and leaves. So he didn't finish off the Super Sons, but you know, they are kind of banged up. So yeah, they are trying to figure out what to do. They figure out where he's going by getting into some data that Dynomutt left behind, and they take off after him. So I think John can fly now. In the first issue, he still hadn't developed the ability to fly, but I think he looks like he's flying there, so that's cool. And Damien, you know, is surfboarding on the back. I always thought Blue Falcon's costume looked so goofy. I'm just looking at it now. It's like it has a beak on the head. Reminds me of that Phineas and Ferb episode called The Beak, where they are in, you know, like a falcon costume, and they call him the Beak. So anyway, he's taking Dynomutt to this lair place, and it shows who the villain is. It's this vulture guy who Radley created a long time ago, but kind of just left for dead. But he was obviously conscious enough to build. I think he took over the mind of somebody else. So this, even though it looks like a human, is actually a highly advanced vulture in the head of a human. So it's kind of a strange story, but Hey, it's comic books. Anything can happen. So anyway, the Super Sons show up to stop whatever this guy's name. I'm just gonna call him Red Vulture. To stop his, evil plan. So yeah, they split up. He's going after the dog killer, and Damian Wayne is going after Blue Falcon. Man, John just rams this dude. It's awesome. So they're fighting, trying to take over or overcome Blue Falcon and this Vulture guy. But Falcon throws Damian Wayne straight into John. And Damian's like, you can fly, right? You can fly. And John's like, sorry, he's just so fast. So yeah, again, they're fighting. And apparently Vulture's plan is to put his brain into Dynomutt, which actually this is the plot. Spoilers alert for Flash. Spoiler alert for Splash. Flash, season 4. This is the same plot. So DeVoe, who's the villain in Flash season 4, this is exactly what he does all the time. He puts his consciousness into other humans, and this Vulture is putting his brain into other animals. So kind of the same plot thing going on there. But anyway, he's trying to download his consciousness into Dynomutt. Super Sons are trying to stop him. But Dynomutt has this little trap in mind, and Vulture's like, impossible! That's our trap! Admiral Akbar right there. So yeah, he gets fried. Dynomutt is back in business. And Vulture orders Blue Falcon to kill the kids, and Falcon's like, yeah, consider them killed. And then, this awesome scene right here, Dynomutt says, yeah, I've got one thing to say to you, old buddy. Not on my watch. And, standing protectively over the boys. Dogs are just awesome. I love dogs so much. And that is exactly what a dog would do. He's a good boy. So yeah, Dynomutt's, I don't want to do this, man. You're my friend. And Blue Falcon says, yeah, your friend is gone. I killed him. Same thing Ben Solo says in Star Wars, except this actually made me feel more emotion than that entire movie did. But anyway, Dynomutt's like, well, since the BF's gone, then I guess it's all right if I tell you a secret. He always thought BF stood for Blue Falcon, but the truth is it always stood for best friend. So yeah, he, I guess, shows him all these images of them fighting crime together. And Blue Falcon is kind of stunned by that. Meantime, Red Vulture gets back up and is getting ready to fry the kids with his, zappy gun. Or I guess he's actually going to shoot Dynomutt. Yeah, he's going to shoot Dynomutt, and the kids are like, no. So John Ram, there's a lot going on in this one single panel right here, actually. It took me a minute of looking at it to figure it all out. So John sees that he's getting ready to shoot the blaster. He flies into him, knocks him backwards, but Red Vulture still gets off the shot. Damian, of course, like, no! And I guess while this laser is still beaming toward Dynomutt, Dynomutt says, yeah, don't worry about me, just save. And then Blue Falcon jumps in the way of the gun, takes the shot right to the chest. Oh, man. And Dynomutt goes berserk. Because that actually killed Blue Falcon right there. Dynomutt, of course, no! BF! No, Radley. And then Blue Falcon says, one last save for my best friend. Couldn't let anything happen to me, or to you, to the only family I had left. And then he dies, which was very sad, very emotional. I was mad when that happened. I was like, are you serious? And I was like, oh man, ripping the shreds, Dynomutt. Look at that. That is super freaking awesome. But of course, John and Damien stop him and you know, are like, that's not what Blue Falcon would want. Be the better man, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you just want to see the bad guy's face get ripped off, I swear. You really do. But anyway, they take out Red Vulture, and then they all have a moment of silence for Blue Falcon. Very emotional. So we end the story with another funeral scene. This time it is Radley Crown's 1977 to 2018, and I would bet money that 1977 is when Blue Falcon, first premiered. And John is just kind of saying how I think I kind of get the idea of funerals. It kind of helps prepare us for whatever is coming next. No one lives forever. Kind of a way to say goodbye. Damien's like, sometimes you can be pretty dark, John Kent, and I'm saying that as a guy who works with the Batman. So yeah, rest in peace, Radley Crown. But the story doesn't end there. We see some digging going on here, and the digging is being done by none other than Dynomutt, who digs up his friend's casket and carries it off to the lab. Yeah, carries it off to the lab, and he says, "You said it years ago, BF. You're all I've got left, and I'll be danged if I let you go without a fight." So he does the same thing to Radley that Radley did to him years ago. And the last panel, we see Blue Falcon open, one eye. Dino, good boy. The end. So yeah, that was actually a dark story, with the whole backstory of first Radley's parents are murdered, and then Dynomutt is, well, at the time he was just Dino, I guess. He's dying, and so Blue Falcon turns him into a cyborg to save his life, and then Falcon gets taken over and wants to kill his best friend in a brutal way too. Falcon is very brutal, and then Falcon gets killed, and then he gets brought back to life by Dynomutt. So very kind of a interesting, kind of weird story, but it was very good. It was worth $5. Most of the time, I would say a comic is not worth $5. Pretty much every $5 comic, $5 or more comic that I've gotten, I did not feel like it was worth it. But this one was. The art was fantastic. The story was fantastic. Peter J. Tomasi's, he's tied for first for my favorite writer. And he's tied with Scott Snyder, who actually just started a YouTube channel, which is awesome. But Scott Snyder kind of disappointed me with No Justice. I'm hoping his Justice League run is a lot better. I've heard really good things about it, and the covers all look super cool, and the story sounds good. So I'm definitely going to get that one, review it, and everything. But for now, at least, Tomasi is definitely tied with Scott Snyder. And you know what? Honestly, probably will stay tied, because especially after I read Tomasi's Superman run, man, I bet just from what I've heard, it sounds pretty epic. And Tomasi is just a fantastic writer. So anyway, I highly recommend this one. And that's going to do it. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you really enjoyed this. Let me know what you thought. And I will see you in the next video. My next video will either be an older comic. I'm going to try to start covering like comic book news. We'll see about that. Or if I get to the comic book shop, it will actually be a new comic book review. But until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.